Alright, today we're going to be talking about volume. Volume is all over your star chart. There's actually 3 different formulas for volume. Volume is for 3-dimensional figures. Alright, so the first one they give you is from elementary school. Volume equals length times width times height. The next one they give you is volume equals big B times height. Well, what is big B? Big B is length times width. They just want to know the bottom, the base of that 3-dimensional shape. Now the next one that you have is side to the 3rd power, or side cubed. The reason it's called cube is this is actually side times side times side. Well, guess what? That's length times width times height. This is for the 3-dimensional shape called a cube where all sides are the same. Okay? Now let's go on to a couple practice problems. So here we have a 3-dimensional shape. The first thing we need to know, is it a cube or is it something else? It's not a cube. Every side is different. So you can scratch out that formula, you don't need it. The next thing we need to notice is that the sides are different, so that makes it a rectangular prism. So in this one, they give you the 3 sides. Let's say in a word problem it says, hey, I want to find the volume. Now you know on a test it's going to be harder than that. But it's pretty much, it comes down to, hey, they want to know the volume of this rectangular prism. And they'll say that usually. So you just take the numbers and you multiply them using the formula. So volume equals length times width times height. So here we go. Let's just plug it in. Volume. Here's a length, here's a width, and then there's the height. So volume equals, let's do the first step together, 30 times 7. And now volume equals 210 feet. And now here comes the hard part. Is it squared? Is it just feet? Or is it cubed? It's cubed because it's a 3-dimensional shape. So my symbol goes right there, 210 cubic feet. And that's our answer. Now, what does they say? Hey, I want to find big B. Well, don't get confused. We learned from the last slide, volume equals big B times H. Well, big B, that just equals length times width. So if they just want to know the big B, it's just your length times your width. So that's 6 times 5 equals 30. Big B equals 30 feet squared. Now, then you have to multiply it by the height if you want to find volume. But right now, big B just equals 30 feet squared. Big B is the shaded portion that I'm doing right now, the bottom of the base. Don't forget, sometimes they'll say, hey, let's double it. Find me both bases. So both bases would actually equal 60. So little hints on what sort of questions they could ask. They could ask volume. They could ask for just big B, which is the bottom. For the base, just length times width. Remember, you have 2 bases. They might ask for 1 base or 2 bases. Alright, let's go on to the next one. The next one right here is a square prism. Why do we know that? Because they said so. Sometimes they will do that. This is a square prism. And here, I want to find out, in a word problem, I want to know the height. What does the height equal? So how do we find it? Well, we've got to use the word problem to help us. It's real short here. A square prism. What that means is, if this side is 5, then what does this side have to be? It also has to be 5. So now, 5 times 5, that gives me my big B. But there's one other thing that they have to give you out of the word problem. They have to give you a volume. So let's give it. Let's say the volume equals 250. And we'll call it feet again, just a cubism. 250 cubic feet. So they will give you these 3 things out of a word problem if they want you to find the height. We had to know that this side was 5, based on square prism. Now we can find the height. Alright, so let's plug in using our formula. So volume equals length times width times height. Do we know the volume? Yes, it's right here. So let's plug it in. 250 equals, do we know the length and width? Yes. 5 times 5, we don't know the height, times the height. 250 equals 25 times the height. So now we have to plug in a number for the height to equal 25 times something to equal 250. That's going to be a lot of guessing and checking. 25 times 1, 25 times too small, and so forth. So the best way to do it is to divide. What do I mean by that? We divide by 25 on this side, it cancels out. If I divide by 25 on this side, I need to divide by 25 on the opposite side. That's back to algebra. So now we have the height equals 250 and a 25. Well, I can't do that in my head, so I need to come do my chicken scratch. Don't forget, 250 goes inside the house because it's the numerator, not because it's bigger, because it's the numerator. How many times 25 and a 2? 0. How many times 25 and 25? Once. Your answer is not 1. That wouldn't make any sense. You've got to continue to divide into your ones place. Can 25 go into 0? No. So now I know that the height equals 10. How do I check that? Very easy. Plug it in. Volume equals 5 times 5 times now 10. So now I have 25 times 10. That equals 250. We can see that real easily. So volume equals 250. And that's a match. So we found it with division, and then we checked it with multiplication. And that's our review for volume. Any questions? Always ask your teachers, or always rewind in this video, and it can help you throughout the week. Have a good day.